It is time now for Super Sound Showcase. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and we are sponsored by Culture Picks here on FM 93.5 The Burg and WMBG AM 740. Today, I have the great pleasure of welcoming a very talented artist. His name is Kris Scott. And Kris, welcome to the radio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hodge. How are you?
I'm very fine, Mr. Scott. I'm fine.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We are excited to celebrate the release of your album that came out 3 days ago. And this album is called By the Fire. I am excited that we're going to hear the world premiere of some of this music today.
You got the exclusive, man. I couldn't be happier to be letting it out here.
Oh, this is exciting. I love when new stuff comes to our station first, and it's beautifully put together. Tell us about the album. How did it come about, and what's on it?
This is our third album, and well, I say our, me and my guitarist's third album. We did we did two before this one, and this was just a conglomeration of everything, life experiences, and some things that I've been going through and just dealing with on the daily basis. Had a great time. One of the things that I love about making records, financing records and doing them all myself is that there's no box. I can do anything I want. If I want to do a country sounding tune, I'll do it. If I want to do something that's got a more rock and roll feel, something poppy, I do. It's all recorded live. We multi-track, obviously, but I play almost all the tracks: drums, guitars, mandolins, harmonicas. I got a buddy that does the bass work for me. So it's just a whole lot of fun. There's some great ballads, some very heartfelt ballads on this one. There's some upbeat, poppy sounding stuff. So it's kind of all over the place, but I feel like you could sit down and listen to this entire record, and no matter what mood you're in, it'll just keep you right where you need to be, or get you where you want to go.
That's a wonderful statement, because it is nice when something can just elevate you and preserve your moods. Tell me, when you're out there doing this stuff live, are you one of those wizards that can loop and do all this stuff, or do you just scale it back?
I do have a loop station, so I can play I record the chord progressions live and then solo over top of them, and had some great fans introduce me to a harmonizer, so I have another pedal that I can stomp and play have harmonies sung over top of my or behind my harmonies. So yeah, when you come out to the live show, if it sounds like there's 3 or 4 of us up there, it's just me pretending that I'm driving a clutch and playing with my feet.
Yeah, well, that's great. I know when I work solo as opposed to with other people, somebody said, well, do you prefer one over the other? I said, I love working solo because that way I don't have to rehearse and I keep all the money. Right. I love that. What's the hate?
I make that joke all the time as well. I don't have to split my check with a human or give it to a pedalist. So yeah,
exactly.
It's great.
So tell me, when you began with music, how did it choose you?
Well, my father played guitar when I was a kid, so I remember being 3 feet tall and just reaching up and strumming the guitar in his lap and just thinking that was the neatest thing. And at 12 years old, I decided that's enough. I'm going to have to figure this thing out. So just picked it up and started listening. Dad taught me 3 or 4 chords, and I was play this song on the radio, practice it this way, figure out how it worked, and make it all work together. So I kind of
taught yourself.
I did teach myself to play guitar. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of all the instruments that I own or that I play, the banjo is the only one I've had lessons in. It's the one that I'm worst at.
Really? Wow, that says something. There are a lot of artists that make a lot of money that have eschewed the lesson thing for fear that they were ruining something of their technique or their natural abilities. And I do think it can be nice to get a little bit of training and polish, but overall, sometimes if you've got it naturally, it's the wrong people messing with it is not the best thing.
It really is amazing. I love the fact that I haven't really had any real guitar lessons, and I haven't had any formal lessons, but everybody that I play with that's better than me, I try to pick up something from them, that's most everybody that I play with. So,
and don't you find, though, that's the beautiful thing about collaboration, is that I love that someone can influence my musicianship and my skills, and vice versa.
Yeah, brings you to a whole nother level, and I feel like what I lack in maybe an instrument or otherwise, we work together, and bring them some sort of pleasure or learning like I feel like they bring to me. So it's fun.
Do you have a bias personally towards yourself, in the sense that, are you a better guitarist or a better singer?
Oh, I'm terrible at both, but I enjoy them both so much that there's no way I'm ever going to give it up.
Don't say things like that. Then I'm like, what about booked? You're not terrible, or you wouldn't be here. But that's pretty funny. They say that the best musician in the room is often the most humble person there as well. So that is a nice indication.
We shall see.
Okay, yeah. Well, all right, so you live in Richmond.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
play a lot of live shows around the town. I travel a little bit for music, but not too much. I would love to branch out more and get some more gigs outside of town, which is, everything comes in time. But right now I play 2 to 5 shows a week, so I stay super busy. It is my full-time job, which I love and have a blast doing it. And play a lot of my original stuff live, and also play a lot of fun covers, because a lot of the places that I play, I want to keep the people interested. So because I've been doing it for a good long while, I'm finding more and more people singing along to the songs that I wrote, and that's,
I bet. Isn't that gratifying?
It's an amazing feeling to look out there and see people lip syncing to your stuff, and you're like, wow, this is great.
Chris has done a great favor for us today. He drove here from Richmond, despite having a show at 5:30 in Richmond, or on the other side of Richmond even. So I'm delighted that you were able to make time to come.
Thank you so much. May I promote it here?
I'm sorry?
May I promote tonight's show?
Absolutely.
I'm going to be at the Midnight Brewery, which is in Rockville, Virginia, off of Granite Ridge Road. So if you guys are going to be in the area, or you want to make a little trip, come out and see us. We'll be there at 5:30 to 7:30. Great beer and great fun always, every Thursday at the Midnight Brewery.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what I'll do. If you're listening to this show live and you are suddenly inclined to be spontaneous, if you want to go see Chris tonight, if he calls me and tells me the name of somebody from Williamsburg that heard this and drove straight up there and had dinner and saw the show, I will award you a very special prize.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we will make that doable.
I love it. Well, let them know, too, if they come out at the end of every show. Just this one Thursday show, it's just caught on the last few weeks. At the end of the show, I turn off all the mics, all the speakers, and everybody there, we just get in a big giant circle, and we take and just do one acoustic song with everybody singing, and it's always a song that everybody knows, and it's a blast just to hear
That's a great idea.
The choir of fun beer drinkers getting together and singing a song that everybody knows by heart.
We should do it again at the very end of the night and see if it improves or gets worse.
It is always the last song of the night.
Oh, it is the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Wow,
man.
That sounds really cool. All right, we are going to a couple of commercials, and we will not be long. We will be back in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, if you are with us on social media, if you are watching our live stream from the studio, that will continue, and there is no telling what we might do on social media. But in about 3.5 minutes, we will join up again with you, and we will finish this with some great music from Kris Scott, our guest today on Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix. All right, we are back with Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix, here on FM 93.5 The Burg and WMBG AM 740. We are joined today by Kris Scott. And Kris, I am excited to hear music from your brand new album that's only been out 3 days. If you're just joining us, we talked about this. And where can they find this music?
I checked this morning. It's still not available on stream, so you'll have to pick it up either at the live show or just, I think, a couple of days from now, it should be available on all the digital platforms.
Okay.
So right now you're stuck with this live version.
All right.
Or come to a show and grab a CD.
Push record if you are so technically advanced, and you will have an advanced copy. All right. What's the first song? Is which one?
We're gonna go with "Love Like a Fire."
All right. "Love Like a Fire." Let's hear it.
Something upbeat and fun.
Starts with a spark between a boy and a girl. Things heat up in time. It warms your hands and warms your heart. It's never seen as a crime. It can feel like heaven or the devil's den. Depends on where you are. You can walk right through it and then on the other side, love can leave a scar. The wind makes it hotter with burning desire. Yeah, love is like a fire. The wind makes it hotter with burning desire. Yeah, love is like a fire. Feel the flames as they're licking my skin. Spins my head around. You hold me closer just like flying through the air. We never touch the ground. When smoke from the fire gets in my eyes, well, it gets hard to see. Love can be just as blinding sometimes. You know what I mean. The wind makes it hotter with burning desire. Yeah, love is like a fire. The wind makes it hotter with burning desire. Yeah, love is like a fire. Dance in time with the flames, round and round we go. I feel the fire as I swim in your name. Where it stops, nobody knows. The wind makes it hotter, burning desire. Yeah, love is like a fire. The wind makes it hotter with burning desire. Yeah, love is like a fire.
Ooh, a surprise ending.
Woo.
I like it when you catch us off guard.
Thank you,
That's a
sir.
catchy song. I like it. It's got a nice little groove to it. And you're right. There are a couple of time changes in there just to make sure nobody's dozing off.
That's right. Keep you on your toes.
That's nice. You know, while I was listening to the song, I was thinking, too, about our little pre-interview that we did right before we went on air. Kris had told me that one of the changes that he's made in his life is that he's become a full-time musician without other employment, without any net, so to speak, anymore. And, you know, that's always a big deal when you realize your music is doing well and you now have the competence to really make that your one and only focus.
Such a huge jump to make, but you know, you just have to do it.
It is, and it'll make you ultimately happier than anything else.
Totally.
But I did want to bring up too, because I have a personal affinity for people that have spent a large portion of their lives doing good for the community. And I just want to bring up that you are a previous firefighter.
That's true. I did fire in Henrico County for 11 years, and it's a very noble job. There's a lot of fantastic guys and gals that I worked with there, and I love them all and I miss them a lot. But for me, music was just such a strong pull and passion. I felt I had to do what was right for me.
Well, I am always thinking in terms of my PR mind is always speaking to me. And I'm thinking, since this album is called By the Fire, maybe a little launch party at the fire department with your buddies would be a nice piece that the Richmond paper could write about. And,
that's a great idea.
You know, why not enlist them? Because that's a big deal that you had given that much. 11 years is a long time of your life to be in service to the firefighting. You know, so I think this is a great tie-in. Do it.
Thank you so much.
Do it.
I'll take that into consideration.
All right,
let's come up with.
Let's hear about that girl with a bad mouth.
Yeah, this is one I've been playing live for a long time. Everybody that comes to live shows knows a lot of the words, and this is a little tune called "Good Girl with a Bad Mouth."
Okay.
She's a good girl with a bad mouth, but man, she looks good when we go out. She's got a high heels and a skin-tight jeans, and every boy in the place knows what that means. She don't want no little boy, no, no. She says she just wants me. take her home. She never sings the blues, no, no, but she sings rock and roll. Let's do this. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She won't let me be known. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She's trying to make me see. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She's trying to tear my heart out. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. You better watch your back, because she's right behind. Don't worry, you won't feel a thing this time. She's a good girl with a heart of gold. You better watch yourself, or you'll be told. She'll leave you broken hearted, yeah, and out there in the cold. Come on. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She won't let me be known. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She's trying to make me see. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She's trying to tear my heart out. She's a good girl. All right. With a bad mouth. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She won't let me be known. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She's trying to make me see. She's a good girl with a bad mouth. She's trying to tear my heart out. She's a good girl, but aren't they all? With a bad mouth.
Now that could be a hit, I think. That's a catchy little tune.
Thank
And
you.
And you know what? I can imagine that when you write a song that brings up or focuses on some perceived flaw of a woman, I'm sure they're quick to tell you that you should not have written such a thing. But I would tell you to go back to her and say that my first time hearing that song, it makes me want to meet her.
Hey,
I mean, you describe her so vividly that she's compelling.
thank you so much.
I think that's brilliant.
Oh,
It's great storytelling.
I don't think it's a bad thing that she doesn't quite use all of the best words in the world, man.
Well, there you go.
She's got a very colorful personality, and she's awesome. So, yeah, maybe she'll come back with me if we're invited
Okay.
back. Yeah.
I think that can happen.
And I'll let her know you said so.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? I can't believe that we are at the last song. I mean, time is just flying because we're having a good time. But what is the third song?
You want to do it one more? We'll do a little tune that I wrote for my daughter. It's on the very first
Okay.
record. That record's called You've Got to Start Over Somewhere.
That's not this one, though.
We don't have that one here.
Okay. This is the second one that has a picture of his daughter.
Actually,
How long ago was this picture?
that picture's probably 3 or 4 years ago. She's
Okay.
8 now. She's probably 5.
Okay.
There's actually a track on that album I'd like to play you instead since you have that record.
Okay.
One of my favorites. Just a very heartfelt little ballad called One More Day.
All right. Well, this is called Beautiful Flower from Kris Scott. What's the name of the song?
There's a little tune called One More Day.
One More Day. Okay.
Yeah. There's a darkness you can feel and something slipping away. There's a light that you can see when a good thing's coming your way. It was the brightest light I'd ever seen that day. When you walked through the door, you looked my way. I may not be a gambler, baby, no, I'm just a man. But I think I'll go all in this time on this hand.
Please don't think I'm crazy, baby, and try to understand. The scary world ain't half as bad when I hold your hand. And all I want is one more day. One more day beside you, making me feel this way. Am I asking too much, baby, when I say all I want is one more day? There's a light that's in your eyes, brightens up my nights. It's just as clear in the morning when I see the sun's first light. Waking up beside you means it's all gonna be alright. 'Cause baby, you are the sunshine of my life. And all I want is one more day. One more day beside you, making me feel this way. Am I asking too much, baby, when I say all I want is one more day? This last verse is my favorite. The rocky road I traveled led me to you. It was more than I thought that I could handle, but I made it through. The sticks and stones, they broke my bones, and the words, they hurt too. But now the sun is out and the sky is blue. And all I want is one more day. One more day beside you, making me feel this way. Am I asking too much, baby, when I say all I want is one more day? And all I want is one more day. One more day together with you, making me feel this way. As if there's no tomorrow and there's nothing left to say. All I want is one more day. All I want is one more day. All I want is one more day. Forever.
I'm glad you picked that one. I like that song.
Oh, thank you so much.
That made me want to sing it. I might have to learn that one.
I'd love it if you learned it. I'd be happy to show it to you.
I'm a notorious music thief. I appropriate songs all the time and say, I'm going to sing that too.
You have my permission to steal my song.
Awesome. No, I love the way it's written. It's beautifully phrased.
Thank you so much.
Very nicely done.
Thank you very
lyric.
much. I appreciate that very much.
All right. Tell them how to get in touch with you or to find your schedule.
So you can find me on it's Kris with a K, K-R-I-S, so KrisScottMusic.com. I'm on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter as well, so you guys can find me there. So anywhere you want, come on out and see a show. We'd love to have you. But KrisScottMusic.com is the website. And it's Kris with a K.
Well, Kris, thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you on Super Sound Showcase. I am Robert Hodge. I'm your host. We are sponsored by Culture Fix, and this is FM 93.5 The Burg and WMBG AM 740. As always, I cannot have this show if there is no audience, so I thank you for tuning in every Thursday as you do. Thanks to Riley for being in here with the cameras and doing all the production, and thanks to our friends at Culture Fix, to Steve and to Jen and to Shirley, and I, as always, am grateful for your sponsorship. Now, one of my very favorite songs from Anne Murray, this is back in 1980. Listen to the words of this song. If you've not memorized them, take them to heart. This is What's Forever For.